tonight, this morning, this afternoon, this commute, whatever you choose to listen to. Shit! I lost my method. I lost my mode. Sorry. I was gonna just go right into it, but oh well.
You can try again.
Tonight, tomorrow, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you choose to listen to the Fake Philosophers, we hope that you enjoy your auditory indulgence. With me, as always, is Mike. Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're doing our NPR episode this week, so
Nice and quiet, nice and calm.
yeah. But hey, welcome to Fake Philosophers, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Shit. Hey, Mike, is it okay if I just go ahead and intro this episode? How you doing?
Yeah, we're already in it. We're good. Let's go.
All right, sweet. Yeah, going right in. Yeah. I'm gonna open up this episode with a revelation I had this week. I wonder if you had the same. I was driving along, listening to the radio, listening to the news recaps, and I thought to myself, "Holy shit! I didn't know Tina Turner was still alive."
So, I feel bad because I kept seeing on my HBO Max, or now Max, just Max,
Not bragging.
that they had the like a documentary or a movie about her. And then I did see someone post something about, like, rest in peace. And for a moment, I was like, I thought the docs only come out once they're dead. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. I didn't really have a reaction, though.
It's crazy. It was the same kind of thing that happened to John Madden. If you remember, like, Madden died the week before or the week after that documentary about him came out, and whatever. It was called something silly like Turducken or whatever, but it was the same kind of thing. It was like weird timing, but.
Well, so speaking of weird documentary names, have you heard about the documentary that's apparently out? I forgot on what platform, about Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Apparently it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
The name of it is Still.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that's supposed to be like a dark sense of humor or kind of like
Of course
poetic.
it is. It's
supposed to be like poetic that he's still.
I think it's a bit of both. It's that kind of it has multiple meanings kind of thing. Because those of you listening who don't know, Michael J. Fox suffers from Parkinson's, who's nervous system disorder where it inhibits him from keeping still. He's always moving kind of stuff. So it's kind of like I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio. They're like, the new documentary, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
Still.
It's on Peacock or something,
I don't know.
whatever streaming platform.
I just remember hearing that, and I was like, okay, that's either someone having a really dark sense of humor, or it's supposed to be like poetic.
No, I think it was more poetic. I think it was kind of
probably
a nod to both. I remember when Michael J. Because my wife and I were watching Scrubs, started rewatching Scrubs, and we got to those few episodes where Michael J. Fox was in it, and as the doctor, and his character in the show, he plays a doctor that suffers from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And there's this amazing scene in the first episode he's in at the end where he's having like an OCD breakdown, and he's like talking to Scrubs, whatever the main guy's name is, and he's saying like, people aren't supposed to see me this way. I'm not supposed to look like, I'm supposed to be like, it was such a because the character's talking about OCD, but that it was written because Michael J. Fox was talking about not wanting to be seen suffering from the disorder he has. It was so moving, and I cried my eyes out, and it was really good. It was really
That was
good.
when he was like washing his hands, and he kept like having to wash his hands, right?
Yes.
I remember that scene, yeah.
Oh, so moving.
Scrubs is one of those shows that it's like really funny, but then like sprinkled in there are like serious gems.
Right. Yes.
Of real moments. Yeah, that's a great show. Great show.
Sprinkled with like great touching moments, great humor, and a lot of jokes that did not age well. But I'm enjoying it. It's fun, but. So that was the big news story. Poor Tina Turner, actually, unfortunately. But you know what's funny is, have you watched Schitt's Creek, the show Schitt's Creek?
I've watched like an episode or two.
Okay, so when my wife and I were dating, long distance, and we would do this thing where we would watch a show together, quote unquote, where we'd be like, all right, start the episode now, and then we'd like watch the show together remotely. Schitt's Creek being one of the shows that we watched, and we so loved that show. And there's this great scene in it where this one guy is trying to court like the main guy in like the son of the family, and he sings an acoustic version of this beautiful song, and the song's called "Simply the Best." And we were like watching it. We absolutely love that song. It ended up being our song, our wedding, like our first dance song was "Simply the Best." And come to find out, it was a remake of the Tina Turner song. And I didn't know. I never heard the original Tina Turner song until like a few times after I'd heard the remake. But so yeah, "Simply the Best" is my wife and I's song. So Tina croaked, really sad. Mad Max Thunderdome, obviously her real
put her on the map.
Opus. Yeah, that was the real thing, was Beyond Thunderdome. But yeah, anything fun happened to you this week?
I remember while I was driving today, I thought of something to mention and then I forgot it.
Okay.
I did find it was kind of funny at Home Depot, if we want to go into a grocery gripe.
Here we go.
At the, because Home Depot for the most part now, if you didn't know, like 99% of transactions are like self-checkout now, unless you need like the big lumber shit. And they always have like one cashier open, but nobody uses it. And this guy was like at the self-checkout, and he like rang in a bunch of shit, and he just, I only saw a part of it, but it looked like he just got frustrated and said, "Fuck this," grabbed his bag and just walked out.
Whoa.
And so the young lady who was like running the self-checkout was like, sir, and he just didn't give a shit and just kept walking. And so she didn't chase him in the parking lot. I'm not sure if they have a no chase policy or whatever, but she kind of just turned around and was like, whatever, walked back to it, cleared it out, and then I was the next one to use his computer.
Were you doing that, standing there awkwardly like, is it open? Or
can I use this? I don't want to pay for his shit, but can I use it? I do think that Home Depot has like almost like Amazon Returns, where they don't really give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've even gone to self-checkout with some stuff, like, you know, like some stuff that doesn't have like the code on it. Somewhere I looked, I was like, hey, I don't know like how to ring this in. There's like, oh, just take it. And I'm like, all right, like, okay.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if that was part of it, but I just remember this guy was just like, and just walked out with his bag full of shit.
What kind of entitlement do you have to have? It's like, I'm so inconvenienced and I'm so like put out because I'm waiting for this computer that, you know what? I'm entitled to this product that I didn't pay for. Fuck this. I'm leaving with the stuff. And you know what? Paying for it is merely an inconvenience. It's like, no, you stole, motherfucker. Like, what? Wow.
Yep. And I don't even know the whole deal. Maybe he really thought he paid for it. I don't know the whole deal. I just remember he kind of went and just walked out.
Yeah, that might have been me. I like pay and grab my receipt so fast. It's like, you know, he might have just had the system down and like just bolted out too. So
maybe. Yeah.
I have a grocery great for you. You know what? For every grocery gripe we got, we're gonna have a grocery great. This happened to me this week. I had an emergency call for my work at like 9:30 at night. You know, boss calls me. He's like, "Hey, can you take this?" I'm piss ass drunk, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." No, I'm joking, but I was like, "No, for sure." I was fine. It was fine. And jump in my truck, and I'm off, and I'm like, you know what? On my way out, I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm going to stop and get some coffee. There's a gas station right near where we live, 24-hour open, convenience, whatever. I go in to grab a coffee. They have these cool little like vending machines that like grind the beans and pour the coffee like right then and there. So it's great. I'm getting like, oh, sweet, $2 coffee, fresh coffee, take it up to the counter. Gentleman behind the counter is like refilling a change machine or something like that, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Set my coffee on the counter, and I get my wallet out, and he's like, "Just the coffee for you today?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, have a good night." I'm like, like really?" And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Wow, thank you." And then so I was like, "Wow, that was really great," and it was just awesome. It was like a bummer of a night because I had to go to work, and got a coffee on the house for this guy. So.
Those are always good stories, and I have one of my own that happened somewhat recently, but it's always uncomfortable because, like, if you're at a restaurant and that happens, you're like, okay, I'm going to leave the guy a tip. But at a gas station,
yeah,
it's like, what do you do?
it's a pretty corporate, like it's a pretty big name, like, you know, corporate gas station. I won't say the name of it. But like, so I know this guy, like, he's getting paid hourly. If he's a manager, he sees the you know, the income, the I don't know what. He was probably like, it's fine. What's a $2 coffee going to do? It's going to make this guy's night. And I'm refilling the change machine. I don't want to stop and have to ring this guy up. Just go, you know, kind of thing.
It's probably not worth the $2 to stop doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
At 11 p.m. on a Tuesday or whatever it was. So, or he was genuinely being nice. I don't know.
It could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So when John Wick 4 came out, me and some of the fellas,
yeah,
we I'm not sure if I told you this story, but we went to we all met up to go see it. Kind of found a theater that was like midway between all of our places.
Nice.
And me and the Corey, we got there early, so there was a I'll say the name of the place, Chili's. We went to good old Chili's.
Yeah. Mexican Applebee's.
Yeah, across the street from the theater. And I got there first. I ordered a IPA for me, and I got a Bud Light for him because he doesn't drink good shit. And this was before Bud Light was gay. So, hashtag fuck Anheuser-Busch, fuck Bud Light.
This episode not brought to you by Bud Light.
Yeah. And I remember the guy. I'm not sure. It's one of those things like this is happening before, but even Corey was like, "What the fuck?" It was a guy server. It wasn't a female server.
Okay.
We only got one drink. I asked to cash out, and he was like, don't worry about it.
Ooh.
And I was like,
okay.
Why? I kind of said, I was like, are you sure? Like, why? And he's like, nah, you're good. You're good. And I didn't have any cash, so I was like, Corey, can you leave a tip? Because, like, I can't leave a tip. Like, leave something.
Yeah.
And Corey was like, what happened, like, before I got here? And I was like, well, the table was pretty... Yeah, stroked him off real quick. No, the only thing I think of, I was like, there is, and I'm sure in your field you might encounter this too, where if you talk to someone, you could tell their industry without ever asking. And so like I sat at it was in the bar, self-seating, and the table was still kind of dirty, but I sat at it because it was the only one available. And I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
And when he came over to clean it, he's like, I'm so sorry, it's dirty. And I was like, oh no. And I was already kind of like using a leftover coaster to like brush debris.
Nice. Yeah.
And so I was already kind of doing it. I was like, don't worry about it, I'm good. And so I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, he was just like, it wasn't like I was some hot chick that he was trying to impress. But yeah, he was like, yeah, it's on me, whatever. And so I was like, all right, cool. And Corey was like, what the fuck? What did you do? But
there's nothing tastes as sweet as a beer on the house. A beer on the house, if you can get one, is it's pretty great.
It's nice.
For those of you watching this episode and wondering why Mike is kind of doing the chocolate rain lean away from the microphone, he's got the sniffles. Mike's got the sniffles.
I'm trying to mute it as much as I can.
No, he's being great. So you know, did you get the vid or what was going on?
I think it's just the fuck. I'm not sure. So California and it's great weather.
Yeah.
It was like warm last week. So pretty much I don't get sick, but when like the allergy seasons come out and like the seasons start changing, I get fucked up.
Yeah, okay.
And so since we had a cold spell and then it got hot and then this last week it got cold again, it just hit me upside the head and I had the sniffles. Yeah.
So around here they call it the pollenocalypse or whatever. It's like pollen apparently where I live in Raleigh is it legit. I've seen it. It leaves a layer of green pollen over everything. It's like it snowed pollen. It's pretty brutal. I mean, and remarkably, it's not too bad for me, but I'd imagine you'd probably get pretty fucked up. But
oh yeah, I'd probably die.
Yeah. So I texted this to Mike earlier today. I said, this is a topic I've been kind of stewing for a while, like kind of waiting for that moment to get into. It's a combined thing of like a segment I'd like to get started on and also just a fun idea that I was thinking about when I was taking out the trash one day. We'll get into that in a minute. But the segment, we're going to call it, because we haven't had a good name for it yet, the placeholder, we're going to call it Everybody's on a Spectrum. We've talked about Republican versus Democrat, anarchist versus totalitarianism, the gay, straight, male, female. Everyone falls on this spectrum of one or the other, and they're not always extreme one or the other. They follow somewhere on the spectrum. Republican, Democrat, not everyone is one extreme or the other. Turns out that most people are somewhere in the middle, leaning one way or the other. So in that spirit, we're going to call this Everyone's on a Spectrum. And we're going to open up the first Everyone's on a Spectrum segment with this topic. One side of the spectrum being big dick energy and the other side of the spectrum being little dick energy. And what gave me this idea is I was taking out the trash one day, and I'm driving because we have to drive to the dumpster of our apartment. I mean, we could walk, but I drove to the dumpster, and I'm driving by. This dude's got this big jacked up truck with huge wheels, the pickup truck kind of thing. And I did what most people see when they see lifted trucks, little
small
dick.
Yeah.
So, and then it set me down this thing of, oh, okay, well, no, it's not that he has a little dick. It's just I think that's little dick energy. That's interesting because I've heard the term big dick energy. So, do you hear that?
What? Are you doing a bit?
No, there's a fire alarm or something going on. Oh.
I don't hear it.
Anyway. Sorry, I digress. So
you're doing a bit. I was like, what, are you going to hear a little dick?
No.
What's going on?
I've got the fire department on the phone right now. Big dick energy, little dick energy. Let's get into the discussions because this fascinates
dive right into the dicks.
Right in.
Yeah, go on.
I've seen memes posted about big dick energy, what it means to have big dick energy, because it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, this is one of those things that's kind of tough to kind of talk spectrum-y things about it, because there is. It's a subjective thing too. So like something that I think might be a little dick energy, someone else might think is big dick energy.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
It all depends on perspective, how you were raised, dare I say, to sound dramatic. But like, for instance, I think, we were both Star Wars fans. Let's use Star Wars as an example. I think Darth Maul, strictly movies, not the shows, strictly movies.
Okay.
Has big dick energy. This man does not have to say shit.
Yeah.
He just handles his business, does what he has to do. Granted, he gets fucking killed. But he just does what he has to do. Darth Vader, big dick energy.
Yeah.
He talks a little bit of shit, but like he doesn't get petty with it. It's just pretty much, oh, you're fucking with me? Nah, I'm gonna choke you.
He backs it up. He's like,
yeah, I don't have
time for you.
He very rarely like talks a lot of shit unless it's like to another Jedi, but to like the people around him, he's like, oh, you failed me. You're dead. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Kylo Ren, little dick energy.
Little dick energy.
He has to scream. He has to yell. He has to.
He has to literally throw his dick around when he's like throwing a fit and all that. Yeah.
Granted, he backs it up, but there are people who think that kind of attitude is big dick energy of yelling and screaming and doing all that. There's people who's like, yeah, you get him, man. So, I mean, it just depends on how you feel about it.
See, in my analytical brain, I want to like break it down more. Okay, so Darth Maul, great example of big dick energy. Why? Okay, he's strong and silent. What kind of characteristics would you apply to Darth Maul or Darth Vader? Han Solo we can get into later, but Darth Maul, Darth Vader, like what characteristics would you use to describe them that are also synonymous with big dick energy? Confidence being one, a man of few words, maybe.
Confidence, not arrogance. Confidence, not arrogance.
That's a good one.
To make sure you put it apart.
Actions, not do it, don't say it, kind of thing. Their bite was definitely worse than their bark.
Yes.
Okay, so we got some like the confidence kind of aspect is big dick energy. Han Solo, he's got big dick energy and little dick energy. He's got a little bit of both.
He's got a little bit of both.
Kind of fun. Yeah. It's kind of fun. He's got the gruff badassness of big dick energy, but he's got the like immaturity kind of little dick energy. Like
yeah, but it's and kind of going into it, kind of like. I call like so it's like the mafia thing. If you're in the mafia, you're the shit. You don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But if you're not sure if you're in the mafia, or if maybe you know someone, you might start bragging about it, and that's where I'm like, that's a little dick shit.
Apply it to real world. The guy that drives the big truck. Now I probably analyze the truck selection way more than I should. because like being that I have a work truck and I've seen applications where a big truck is used and needed. So I can see where, the big lifted truck is like used and needed. Then again, if you're living in an apartment in the suburbs, driving to and from Trader Joe's, and you have a big truck, I'm like, yeah, what? I don't know.
It's case by case, because like even my brother-in-law, he has a big ass truck, and it's nice. It's a nice truck though, but it's not like he's sitting in the parking lot revving the engine and showing it off and doing donuts. But so it kind of depends on the person. But he actually uses it a lot because that's why he has a truck, because he likes driving a truck and he uses it. So
okay, yeah. Okay, well I was gonna say like the Honda Civic with the modified muffler and the spoiler on the back. It's like flooring it in because it's stick shift and flooring it down their suburban streets. Little dick energy. And why? Why? Because it's loud, it's showy, it needs to
look at me, yeah.
Right, because look at me because I'm worth it, because I am the shit. And if you looked at me, you would understand that. And yeah.
It's kind of like, what was the movie? God damn it. What was the movie? John Travolta. He was like there's two of them. The first one, he was like a music guy. The second one is a movie guy, or vice versa. Rene Russo was in it. Danny DeVito.
Ooh. Man, I'm blanking. I'm sorry.
I
don't know.
It doesn't matter. I'm sure as soon as we're done, it's a classic movie. He was like a gangster who got into like the movie industry or something.
Oh, okay.
But it was John Travolta. And I think it was John Travolta. Anyway, there was a quote from one of the trailers. He's talking to Danny DeVito, and Danny DeVito's commenting on his car, and he's like, "Yeah, but that car's not fast. Don't you want speed? Like, you gotta go fast." And the response was, "If you're important, they'll wait."
Ooh.
And I just remember thinking, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And then another example of big dick versus little dick energy, real world example, true story, Mitch.
Go for it.
I'll fast through the context, but pretty much I found myself with a few friends in the middle of a crowd where we were about to get our asses kicked. Mm-hmm. And there's a guy in our face kind of doing the pointing, like, "You motherfuckers, like, you pieces of shit talking shit, blah, blah, blah." And he was running his mouth, getting aggressive and shit. But my eye was on a guy who was standing maybe 10 to 15 feet behind him with his arms crossed, just sitting silently staring at us. My eye was on him because he was scaring the shit out of me. The guy, the Chihuahua barking was, like he probably could have taken me in a fight, but the guy twice his size, 10 feet back, staring at us like we were fucking meat and he was a dog.
Yeah.
Not saying a word, scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I was just watching him the entire time. We didn't get our asses kicked. That's a whole other thing. But the point is, little dick energy, in our faces, screaming, yelling, talking shit. Big dick energy, not saying a word, but terrifying me from 15 feet away.
Oof. Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to think of other applications of big dick energy, little dick energy, applied to not just toughness and not just in a fight situation. I'm trying to think of like
I got one
in the workplace or something. What do you got?
It's not. I'm not sure in the workplace, but not like a fighting situation. Someone who brags about getting hooked up versus someone who brags about paying for everything.
Great example. Yeah. Okay. Great example.
Or not, I wouldn't even say brags about paying for everything, but someone who's like, "Yeah, man, I got a guy who hooked me up and blah, blah, blah." And then someone who just goes, "Yeah, I paid my bill. I ordered a lot and I paid my bill."
Yeah. Like the guy who feels like he needs to flex on the fact that he doesn't have to pay for it. That kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because in my opinion, if the big dick energy is someone who's like, "Yeah, I got the money and I'm paying for it." Granted, he's not saying it. He's not bragging about having money. He's just like, "That's my bill. I'm going to pay it." Versus someone who either gets irritated that like, "Well, come on, man, where's the love? Come on, where's my hookup? Come on, man."
I know Mike.
Yeah. Or someone who's like, "Yeah, this person hooks me up." This is an example, and I didn't even mean to flex on this guy, but I did, and I like it came off as flexing, and he shut the fuck up, so I was happy about it, even though I didn't mean to. I was bartending, and Guy came in. He has since passed away, so I don't want to be disrespectful, but, he is what it is. And he had a guy with him who was like a manager at a different bar in town. And he started saying like, yeah, anytime I go to XYZ bar, his bar, he always hooks me up. I love having a guy hook me up. Like, that's great. Like,
interesting.
Mike, your dad, you guys own this place, I bet he hooks you up all the time, huh? And I was like, no, actually, everything I ask for, I pay for. And I just kind of looked at him like, no, I pay for everything that I order.
Wow.
And he kind of was like, oh, man, come on. Like, your dad should be hooking that up. And I was like, no, I'm a grown man. I pay for my shit. And
wow.
and he kind of, like, did, like, a shuffle eye at me. Like, wait, is he fucking with me? And I wasn't trying to fuck with him. I was just like, no, I pay for my shit. Like, when I order something, I pay for it.
Wow.
And if I say I would, yeah.
I had a similar thing. I mentioned a couple episodes back where my company did this annual service meeting kind of thing where all the service techs all meet at this hotel. We have a meeting during the day, and then we stay the night at the hotel, and then the next meeting the next day, and then we all go home. Well, that night we stay at the hotel. We're all at the hotel bar getting riggedy wrecked.
Sure.
And the one of the higher ups in the company came in and put his card down, and he's like, hey, you know what? Drinks are on me for the next, couple hours, or basically till the end of the night. Like, hey, drinks are on me. So everyone's going nuts. Like, oh my God, we got drinks. Drinks are on this guy. It's going to be so much fun, whatever. And I remember sitting next to this one tech with this other tech. We're chatting. We're having a good time the rest of the night. And he was always kind of like, he was getting the drinks in, but he kept himself composed. And that's another big dick, little dick energy is how you handle yourself drinking or out and about, whatever. But that's a side note. And so we're wrapping up that night, and he must have had like a 6-pack on his own easily. And he asked for his tab, and the lady brought over his receipt. And I remember asking him what, dude, it's on this guy. Like, he's paying for he's paying for the drinks. And he looked me dead in the face and he says, oh, that's okay. I could pay for my own beer. Or he said something to that effect. It was just that it's like, he's like, much obliged, I appreciate it, but I pay for my own beer kind of thing. It was just like the most baller thing I ever heard. And I'm like, dude, you have the biggest dick in this whole room. Like, just
yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Even similar situation. I was at a wedding, and it was an open bar. Which open bars at a wedding I have mixed feelings about, because then if people are like, yeah, let's get shots for the groom and the bride, and it's like, you're not really getting those shots though. Like, they're already paying for it. Like, you're just getting them shit they're already paying for. Anyway, but I was at a wedding,
awesome.
But somebody did say like, can I get 4 shots of Patron or something? And like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, here's my card. They're like, oh no, it's an open bar. And he's like, yeah, but I want to buy the shots for the people.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
And I did, that. And this is keeping the political views out of it. I remember seeing this on a forum once. And I remember not necessarily completely agreeing with the point of view, but I was like, I think that's big dick energy. So this guy, he was clearly like a leftist. And someone said like, yeah, but if X, Y, and Z, we provide these social programs, taxes will go up, everyone will have to pay more, blah, blah, blah. And he was straight up like, good, charge me more. I'll work harder so that those people are taken care of. Fuck you. And I was like, wow. I don't know if I agree with the political point, but bless that man.
The honesty. So honesty, another element of it. The honesty of it.
Honesty,
yeah. It's like the what I was talking about was more like I don't let someone take care of me. I take care of my own.
There's that, yeah.
There's so there's that. And then, yeah, the honesty. Like, I know myself well enough and what I want well enough that I can be honest about what I'm asking for. In this case, even if we don't agree, it's like, dude, mad respect. We've talked about that before. It's like, I have way more respect for someone I completely disagree with, but knows what they want and can be honest about it. Oh, so good.
Yeah, but for the most part, to me, and granted, this is something that I've clashed with people before. I find that humility is something I think is big dick energy.
Big time.
You don't really follow the NBA, do you?
Not really, no.
There's a player named Kawhi Leonard. He plays for the Clippers now, so I don't really like him that much anymore. But he was on the Spurs, and this kid, maybe it's just a Spurs mentality, but this guy would just dunk on you, like posterize you.
Wow.
And would never crack a smile.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he would just turn around. He wouldn't do any, like, throw a fist in the air, nothing.
Yeah.
Dunk on your ass, and then just land, turn around, and jog back down the court.
Oh, wow. Okay. There was
I fucking loved it. I loved it.
There's a player on the Rams that is similar to that. Cooper Kupp on the Rams is a wide receiver. Well, wide receiver, tight end, running back. He does it all.
I know Kupp, yeah.
But my dad fell in love with this guy when he was a rookie, I think. It was like his first year in the Rams. And because my dad was like, dude, watch this guy. He's going to be amazing. And to this day, he's been now there for, 6 years, 5-6 years, something like that. And he still plays this way. He will run all the way back, catch a touchdown pass, land it in the end zone, some miraculous freaking, the crowd is on their feet screaming. He'll catch it, stand up, hand the ball to the ref, and walk back to the line, or where he's supposed to be. He never celebrates, and he might get to the line and give a high five or something like that, but that same kind of thing. It's just professional, do the thing. He's got his job to do. That's another characteristic. He does his job.
And another good example of athletes, Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Granted, Kobe was arrogant, and I think being arrogant is a symptom of little dick energy. But I do think there's a gray area there to where a little bit of arrogance is tolerable and can be big dick energy depending on the person. So with Kobe, I remember there was times where in a playoff run, they might be up 3-0, 3-1 or something. And they're like, so Kobe, feeling pretty good. Just one more to go. And he's like, no, we have not won yet.
Whoa. Okay.
You know what I mean? He'll be like, we have not won yet.
Yeah.
We might be up 3-1, 3-0, whatever it is. We have not won yet. I am not okay. I am not content. I'm not satisfied. We are still not complete.
Ooh.
And it's just yes.
You got a job to do. There's that balance of, you mentioned arrogance. Confidence being a big element of big dick energy, confidence in yourself being part of it. And is that not arrogance? But it's overconfidence in yourself. I mean, it could get out of hand. You got to keep a little humility in there, but confidence in yourself to walk in and say, yes, I can do this, or no, I can't do that. Again, it also ties into the honesty about yourself, that kind of thing. So that's a big part of it for sure. And yeah, Kobe, great example. It flew a little too close to the mountain, but definitely was a great example. But
yeah, okay.
Ignoring
that, there was actually a great quote. I'm not sure who originally said it, but it was a professor of mine who would say, "What's the difference? How do you tell the difference between confidence and arrogance? Experience." Which I took as two ways. One, a confident rookie is probably arrogant, but a confident veteran is confident. And also, to tell the difference between confidence and arrogance just takes experience.
Yeah.
Someone who just knows the ropes. And that's where with Kobe, I think a lot of people did consider him an arrogant player, or was he just very confident and knew what he was doing?
He knew the game so well inside and out, you know, and also knew what he was capable of and what the other players were capable of. Yeah. It's that how would you describe wisdom? It's not just knowledge, but it's also experience. Knowing how things should work, and also knowing how the world works. And interesting. Yeah. So there was another aspect of big dick energy, little dick energy that I wanted to bring up, because I'm picturing the douchebag in the big truck that everyone says little dick. And I thought to myself, he may very well have a very big dick, but he has little dick energy.
Yeah.
And then that sent me down a whole other trail. But
so dick energy is not actually dependent on the size of the actual dick. It's the
right.
It's the aura you put out. It's the energy you put out. Yes. It has nothing to do with your actual dick.
Right. No, but it's I've heard, when I first started hearing the term big dick energy, it was used by women describing the kind of guys that they would date and look for and wanting to settle down with eventually. It's you want a guy with big dick energy, and it's oh, maybe not always a big dick, but at least big dick energy. There's hope for all of us. But but then it sent me down you can have just a very small dick and have big dick energy, and
but they'll put up with the small dick. They'll put up with the small dick if you have big dick energy.
But I was thinking about people I know that I would describe as having little dick energy because they flex and they're loud and they're overly confident and all that. And I
do you have names?
No, I do have names, but I'm not going to say them names.
I know.
But and I remember thinking, no, they probably do have big dicks too, though. Like,
yeah.
So,
well, it depends.
maybe it's that like overconfidence, like I have money, let me show you my money, kind of thing. That's little dick energy. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I have a big dick, let me show you my big dick. It's kind of that's little dick energy, dude. Like,
yeah. What was the show? Fuck. David Spade was on it. It was a sitcom where they're like at a news station or a newspaper
Just Shoot
or something.
Me?
Not Just Shoot Me. It was like
David Spade, really?
Spin something? Fuck, I don't know.
Spin City. Spin City.
Spin City? Maybe.
That was a show.
Maybe it was that. And but so I remember, I think it was David Spade's character. They determined like in the shower or something, someone saw him naked because he's kind of like the guy in the office who's like dumb and the girls don't like him and he's kind of perverted, you know, and he's squirrely.
Okay. Yeah.
But then somebody saw his dick, like a guy, and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And they kind of like all the main characters are kind of like, "Oh my god!" Like he had like manly men are like, "He has a big dick like that." And so like the main men characters of the show are all like depressed over this fucking squirrel having a huge dick.
Wow.
And then once they tell him like, you know what you're working with, right? And once he realizes that he's like fucking stacked,
hung,
he starts walking around the office like knowing that he's loaded. But then all the girls are like, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so the last scene in the episode, if I remember, is like one of the older guys looking at one of the other guys. He's like he doesn't, he's ruining it. And he's like, you know what? It's a great product. Horrible marketing department. And he's like, yeah. And then it's a sitcom. He like looks out the window. He's like, is that the sunlight? Is that the sunlight coming through the clouds? And he's like, you know what, son? I think it is. Kind of like, oh, good news for us. Like, and or something like that. And yeah, no, it's a perfect example of someone with a big dick with little dick energy.
So and then there's the whole range in between, the medium dick energy. I'm thinking of the show Parks and Recreation. Mm-hmm. There's a character, Gary, Jerry, Larry, whatever, the guy that they keep messing his name up. But it becomes a kind of reoccurring joke that he's married to Farrah Fawcett and has like this beautiful life at home. And there's a scene where he's actually at a doctor getting a checkup, and the doctor says after the fact that he has the biggest penis he's ever seen in his life. On this, like, you know, this loser, you know, government worker guy turns out is extremely hung. And it's like, okay, yeah, but he has like medium dick energy. It's not even little dick or big dick energy. He's just some guy, but dang, it's big dick on a medium dick energy.
I would say that's big dick energy. When you have a big dick, but you act medium dick, that's big dick energy.
Big dick. I kind of love that. That's good.
So, well, no, an example, I think I brought this up in a different context, but I remember the guy in middle school ended up being like a star football player in high school, but told the teacher, like, hey, this guy keeps fucking with me, this kid. I could easily crush him, kick his ass, but I don't want to. What can I do about this? Like, what can I do to make this kid leave me alone? Because I don't want to hurt him. And I remember the teacher telling me and a couple other students about this. Like, this guy came to me with this problem, and I didn't have the terms at the time, but I was like, oh, that's big dick energy. You don't want to hurt the guy.
I could smash him, but I don't want to.
You don't want to hurt the guy, so you're trying to like go to authority. Like, how do I avoid hurting this person? And that's where like this goes into it. And I'm sure you'll love this when people say toxic masculinity. That's little dick energy.
Yes.
Healthy masculinity. Healthy masculinity is big dick energy.
Yes.
What's his name? Rogers. Mr. Rogers has big dick energy. That man wears the gayest sweaters, and he's comfortable in it, and he's fine.
He's comfy. Because he's comfy. Energy. He changes into his he changes into his Chuck Converse whatevers, puts on his little sweater vest, and he's like, you know, what's up? How you doing? This is my house.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
That's a man.
That's true. That's a man right there. what characteristics of yourself would you say are big dick energy, and which ones would you say are little dick energy? I'll start with this. I'd say my big dick energies are I can cook, and I'm pretty confident in my cooking.
Okay.
I clean up, and I'm I open doors for ladies and stuff like that. Just kind of the old school chivalry kind of shit. I'm just going real surface. I'm not going to get into the big stuff, but
I'll agree as far as big dick energy. I feel confident as a home chef. Don't put me in a fucking restaurant kitchen.
No way.
I mean, I could rock a fryer in a restaurant kitchen, but on the grill, no.
Only because you've had to.
Yeah. But no, I would say that too. And I've actually someone said that about me once at I think it was Erica's birthday party. This was some years ago. You might have been there. But we smoked a lamb roast and a prime rib roast. And I was cutting it up, and I was just really concerned, like, hey, does it taste to people? Like, hey, does it taste good? Like, I want to make sure it tastes good. Like, blah blah. And some girls like, Mike, that's big dick energy, just cooking this delicious shit and then just wanting everyone to be happy. And I was like, all right. Okay.
There's another characteristic. So for those of you writing these down, make sure you get this one down too.
Yes.
The kind of selflessness doesn't quite put it, because that could be so broad, but that, like, the priority being your guests, or the priority being the people around you, making sure they're having a good time, and then worrying about yourself. That definitely big dick energy there.
I would say I do. When I'm joking, it's obviously I'm joking, but I do try to keep myself humble. Mm-hmm. I genuinely don't like bragging.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. You're not much one to brag, yeah.
To where, like, even like if me and you got into an argument about something, and it got passionate, and then a day later it turns out you were absolutely wrong. I will say I'm not the kind of person that I'm gonna be like, hey Mitch, fucking see. I'll just be like, all right, Mitch. I'll just be like, Mitch knows. I don't have to say anything.
That'd be way out of character for you. You'd be more the type to be like, if it were something that if I was so wrong about something, and we got into a heated argument about it, and then a day or two later, you would like send me an article or something privately in a like a DM or something, be like, hey, just so you know, not to whatever, but this is what I was talking. That's how you put it. You put it.
That would be the worst thing I would do. Yes.
But you would use it as like, you would frame it as like you were citing yourself. Like, this is what I was referring to. Not to say, hey, this is why you're wrong. It's like, this is why I think I was correct. And it's like, that's a lot more.
Yeah. Well, even like if it came out in the news, something happened and I was right, I would not even message you. I would just be like, oh, Mitch probably saw that and he knows.
Yep.
Because nothing's worse than someone who's like, see, hey, did you fucking see that? Remember when we were talking? Yeah. You're wrong.
See, there's another big dick energy vibe, is not proving the other person wrong, but proving that you are correct. And not standing so stern that you're just correct and refusing to believe. I mean, like when you in an argument, let's say political, whatever, and little dick energy would be like, you're wrong, this is why, because you're stupid, and this and this and this. Big dick energy is more like, I think my point of view is correct, and this is why.
I'll agree with that.
So it's more of a it's more constructive, I guess, more of a positive.
It's kind of to quote the movie Head of State starring Chris Rock.
Oh, I love that movie.
He said, I forgot the exact quote, but he talks about how he needs to run his race, not attack that guy's race, but I'm going to run my race. It's about, and I wish a lot of candidates did this anyway, if we're touching on the politics. I'm going to, like you said, I'm going to prove to you why I'm the better candidate, not prove to you why he's a bad candidate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or she. That I think is bigger dick energy. It's I'm gonna tell you about me.
Right. It absolutely is. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the votes, but that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Whole other episode there. But no, you're absolutely right. And when we're talking about your personal, my little dick energy traits, when I've had, I do have a bad habit of when I'm like drinking with friends and all that, I'll drink too much and I'll start running my mouth. Big little dick energy.
Never seen that happen, Mitch.
You've never seen? Yeah, you have, motherfucker. that's big dick energy of you to cover for me. But yeah.
my little dick energy is believing I have no little dick energy.
Sitting here honestly, like, I really wish I could. We'll have your lady on. I'll have my lady on. What's their little dick energy traits?
No, I think if I'm trying to think of it, because obviously the cognitive dissonance almost to it, to where it's like, no, I'm pretty perfect.
Yeah.
But I do know there's small things that do set me off. But I
like anger things or
just like if we're talking about something and someone brings something up and I'm like, oh, you want to fucking talk about that? Well, let me tell you my opinion.
Budweiser's actually a pretty good company, and
flip the desk. No, there's certain things. Even then, I don't say. I don't know. I do think there's small things that I get petty about. But I do try to limit my little dick energy. So I think that's why I'm struggling finding it, because when I do things and I'm like, oh, that's little dick energy, I do kind of pull it back.
Yeah.
So I guess there's truth to that. My little dick energy is that I try to not have little dick energy.
So I'm trying to think. I'm imagining a scenario in which I do have my wife right now sitting next to me, telling you what my little dick energy would be, and I think what she would say is, when he's in a bad mood, he would never admit he's in a bad mood. He's just cranky at everybody, and it's everyone else's fault, and he just kind of keeps to himself, and he pouts, and he's kind of just the Stonewall kind of pouty, and is short, and kind of. I think that's my little dick energy is just very pouty, Stonewally. But
I have one that I think she would say is my little dick energy, but I disagree with it.
What my wife would say is your little dick energy?
Yeah. That my wife would say is my little dick energy, but I would disagree with her, so I'm not sure if that counts.
Ooh, I don't know. The people around us know us better than we do.
Nah. I don't know. Like, I'm sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure I have some, but I don't know.
I mean, you can. It's okay to say and disagree with it. I mean, I might agree or disagree. We don't know. What the fuck is it? Tell us, goddammit.
I do know in different areas, professionally, socially, etc., that Erica's observed, like, if someone's being rude to me, and instead of calling out the rude behavior, I'll just sit there and just nod and take it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then when they walk away, I'm kind of like, that person was really rude, weren't they? And so Erica believes that I should call it out.
Oh,
and almost be rude back. But to me, that's little dick energy. Responding with rudeness is little dick energy. To her, she thinks it's tit for tat.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
Interesting.
So neither one of us is right or wrong. It's just that's where we kind of have a disagreement.
That is interesting. I was going to get into the another spectrum is the spectrum of emotion versus logic. It's one that people constantly like to say there's a dichotomy there.
There's not a dichotomy.
There absolutely is not. But I mean, it'd be better to say logical versus illogical, emotional versus stonish or unemotional. But anyway, big dick energy. It needs to absolutely be in touch with his or her emotions, in a healthy way.
No, it's his. Big dick energy is just his. If you want to talk about big pussy energy, well,
just his. Okay, big dick energy is it? Yeah, we'll talk about big pussy energy and
big titty energy. Yeah,
big titty energy. That's awesome. No, okay, but like in touch with his emotions, but doesn't act on them necessarily. Is logical, but doesn't only operate in logic, but is also in touch with a bit of idealism rather than just logic.
I think big dick energy is just kind of a balance of having the balance of everything.
Balance. Maybe that's the key word there. Yeah.
Yeah, to where you're in touch with your emotions, so you're an emotional person, but you can still keep your head cool and make a rational decision. Etc. My big thing, if we're going to say, like, name the one word or the one thing that comes to mind when you think big dick energy, to me it's humility.
Okay, yeah.
Humility and security. Because, like, nothing to me screams little dick energy that if somebody calls you an asshole and that just sets you off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've never understood it anyway, but yeah.
I agree. And it's like there's so many words that I would use to describe big dick energy, but the one that stands out the most, not saying that it's the only one, but the one that probably stands out the most is the word capable. A big dick energy is the man who is capable of whatever the situation might be, whether it be changing, whether fixing something around the house or handling an emotional situation. Someone who's capable of any real situation. That's big dick energy. And all the others, kind of fall in line. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? I forgot. It doesn't matter. I should see. I don't have my notepad. I'm always like writing stuff down. I was gonna say, but
all right. So let's cross the line here.
Okay.
Politicians.
Yeah. Oh,
give me a big dick energy. Give me a little dick energy on the Democrat side or Republican side. Republican side.
Current. Only current.
Yes, let's do current. If you're gonna drop like fucking Reagan, fuck you. No.
Yeah.
We need some
that's
currents.
An easy one. No, yeah. Current Ron DeSantis, I think, has big dick energy because he says what he says and he delivers, and he doesn't really back walk. What's it? Back walk? What's the word? Backpedal.
Back talk or walk back. Sorry.
He doesn't walk back a lot of points, and when he's wrong, he says he's wrong. I mean, he's a politician like anyone else. They're all full of faults, but if I were to think of a politician that has big dick energy, remove yourself from the, none of them do because they're politicians. I think Ron DeSantis would be a good Republican example of big dick energy.
Interesting.
Little dick energy is Mitt Romney. That little fucker is just a squeamish little, like he's walked back every point he's ever made, and he's a, the term rhino. Republican in name only. He's just a career politician, and he's just blech, and he bugs me. And I'm like, he's a wasted vote in my opinion. But
interesting. Okay. And Democrats.
Big dick energy on the Democrat side. Andrew Wang. Is it Wang? Yang. Andrew Yang. See, Wang's on the mind. Big Wang energy.
Big Wang energy. Yes.
I love Andrew Yang because he's actually like the most successful politicians. He's open to other points of view. He doesn't agree, but he's open to them. I saw this great interview with him and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's even come out and talked about how much he likes Andrew Yang.
I saw that interview and I loved that interview.
Because, and if you've listened to Ben Shapiro's show, he constantly talks about how much he loves Andrew Yang because he's just an open-minded individual that you might disagree with, but he's at least honest with that. That'd be the point that makes him big dick, is because he's honest about what he wants and will say what he wants. So Andrew Yang for sure. Little dick energy on the Democrat side. I don't know. They're all pretty no, we believe this. I don't agree, but we believe. What was the name of that fucker? The guy that was on SNL as well. The senator, he got Me Too'd and kicked out of the Senate and all that.
Oh, Franken?
Al Franken, yeah.
You think Franken has little dick energy?
Little dick energy, that little cheese ball. Because he's all talk and he's constantly bashing, and that was kind of his thing. Like most political commentators, celebrities, he actually became a politician. So, little dick energy. I can say it.
Okay. Interesting.
I can think of others, but those are the ones that just came to mind. So,
sure. It was on the spot.
What about you?
You want to start Republican or Democrat?
Republicans. Go start Republicans. Big dick energy Republicans.
So I will disagree with you. I think DeSantis screams little dick energy.
Really? Okay.
My go-to is going to be Trump, because I think even rational Republicans think that Trump screams little dick energy. They just won't say it.
It 100% does. Thank you.
But
I didn't say it because I wanted to be inventive. I wanted to obviously everyone's waiting for Trump, but I'm going to go.
But no, I think DeSantis, and that's where actually I had DeSantis in mind when we began the discussion. I was talking about subjectivity, about how everyone has different interpretations of big dick energy. To me, he screams little dick energy because I feel like the Disney situation's a perfect example, to where Disney just made a statement saying we disagree with this thing you're doing, and DeSantis threw a fit and made this whole thing about getting back at Disney.
Okay.
To me, a big dick energy would be like, okay, that's your opinion. I'm still going to do it. I feel like he's one of those people who gets very upset and irrational when they don't need to.
Okay.
Anyway, big dick energy Republican, Tim Scott.
Tim Scott. Okay, yeah.
Is he South Carolina?
Senator from, I think you're right, South Carolina.
I was going to say either him or Adam Kissinger.
I don't know Kissinger, so.
Kissinger, I think
Kissinger.
Anyway, and then Democrats. Big dick energy.
Bernie Sanders. No.
I think Bernie has big dick energy. I just think his dick is getting old. Like he's not there anymore. I think he knows it too. He knows it too. Big dick energy Democrat. Who'd you said?
Andrew Yang.
You said Andrew Yang. I think Yang has big dick energy. I would say too. Motherfucker, I forgot his name.
I was trying to think of more Democrat primaries during the last primary.
Yeah. I forgot the guy's name. It's eluding me. There's a younger member in the House, and then Jamie Raskin. That's his name. Jamie Raskin.
Oh, I don't remember him. Okay.
He's in the House. He's not a huge A-lister in the political world.
Okay.
As far as little dick energy, I'd say probably like Nancy Pelosi. That's an easy one. I would say maybe Adam Schiff or
Adam Schiff's a good one. Yeah, he's kind of swarmy a little.
Yeah, who's the senator, the head of the Senate right now?
I think it's Schiff, isn't it?
No, that's no. Schiff's in the House. In the Senate, it's Chuck something.
Chuck Schumer.
Schumer's kind of if that's what the right name, he's kind of a little dick energy to me.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
And that another little dick energy for the Republicans is Josh Hawley, I think.
I was gonna say another little, like the little dick for the Democrats was either what's his name, the mayor Pete Buttigieg, or Beto O'Rourke. I was trying to think of other, like primaries. But,
I'll agree and disagree. Yeah. I think Beto O'Rourke is super little dick energy, but I think
he has moments of big dick, but like
very little.
Beta O'Rourke.
Beta O'Rourke is a beta, but no, yeah, I would disagree though. I think Buttigieg. I think that dude has big screaming big dick gay energy, because he even when I don't agree with him, the way he speaks on like interviews and shit is so confident and so on point. I'm just like,
it is pretty true.
Yeah, and like that dude like knows different languages. I think I read something that he learned a language just so he could read a book. Like the dude is incredibly good.
I retract my Buttigieg then.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
I even remember like during the 2020 campaign when Biden somehow miraculously got the nomination. I had conservative friends that I knew through the bar and shit who said, like, you know what? Buttigieg is a veteran and he speaks well. I would have voted. These are like conservative people who would vote for a gay man over Trump because that's how much he pulled their attention. Like, I think I will 100% disagree. I think Buttigieg has very veiny dick energy.
Big, veiny, triumphant dick bastard.
Veiny dick.
All right, I retract them. I take that back. That's pretty funny. That's pretty awesome. Little dick Republicans, they're all over there, man.
I think Ted Cruz used to be a big dick energy guy, and then
no,
then like the last 4 years, I'm like, all right, no, you lost your girth.
Ted Cruz is little dick energy. On the other hand, Marco Rubio, I would say, was big dick energy. He just kind of disappeared. But he was at least one that was like, will say the shit he wants to say and doesn't really worry about what people have to think about it. That was like the one thing was it Rubio that said what a... No, who was it? It was in the Democrat debate, the primary debate. Someone called out Bernie Sanders because he was like saying, what an incredible time we live in where a socialist has like 2 households and like has millions of dollars and all that kind of stuff. Do you remember that quote?
I remember that quote, but I can't remember who said it.
Who said it? Whoever that was that guy. That guy swung low, man.
I do remember. I thought, granted, things have changed, but I remember during the 2016 campaign, I really liked Rubio. He made this point at a political rally where he made a joke about Donald Trump's hands, and he was like, you know what they say? If you have small hands, you have small ha ha ha. And then But then, no, that's not the point. That's a stupid thing to say. What he did say after that was, and I'm paraphrasing, he's like, you know what's sad? Is that I've made a lot of good points here at this rally tonight, and the only thing that's going to get any fucking, he didn't say fucking, but any airtime is that joke I just made. And sure enough, the only thing that got airtime was that joke. And I think 1 or 2 stations ran that extra bit, just showing that.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it was amazing to me. He's like, that's the only thing that's going to get airtime from this rally. And he was right.
Rubio. Yep. I remember when Rubio announced his candidacy, and I was stoked because I really liked Rubio. He was the one I was holding out for. Out of all during the 2016, when we all believed that Donald Trump running was just a joke. But in that last final 3, it was Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump, and I was holding out for Rubio so much. And I remember the day when Rubio dropped out, and it was really like lame. But then I remember when Ted Cruz dropped out, it rained that day in California. I don't know if you remember, but when Ted Cruz dropped out and made Trump essentially the primary, it rained in California. I was like, this is fucked.
I remember John Kasich ran, and I did like him.
Okay.
He was one of the last ones, but yeah, that's an interesting election. But no, yeah. Yeah,
well, anyway, I mean, the spectrum of big dick, I think we've hit on a lot of good points, like keyword points that make up what would be considered big dick energy or healthy masculinity and little dick energy or toxic masculinity and all that.
That I'm glad you said it, because people say when someone says toxic masculinity, they're like, "Oh, so masculinity is all bad." No, there's healthy masculinity.
No. Absolutely. There are toxic traits that men have. Some women might, but mostly men have. Not all men, but these toxic traits are mostly used by men. That would be toxic masculinity. So it's fair to say.
Yeah.
So same way you could say, like, there are healthy traits of masculinity, like the confidence, able to handle a situation, winning in a fight if they were under attack, kind of things.
Chivalry.
Like, yeah. There are things that some women might do, but the majority of them might be men in our current situation or our current time in culture. That's just the way it is, and that's what we're talking about right now. We could talk exceptions all day. God damn it, Matt. God damn it. I don't know.
What the fuck? Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else written down, but that's it.
Yeah, I had some other stuff, but I think that's enough.
Cool.
We can save it.
But hey, thanks for listening, everyone. If anyone has any other points about big dick and little, I said almost masculinity. See, we got on a whole other tangent there. No, what makes up big dick energy? What makes up little dick energy? What are those traits? And drop some names. Who do you know that has little dick energy?
Tag them.
Call them out.
Tag
them. Don't tag the big dick energy guys, because that kind of ruins it. So tag the little dick energy guys. Maybe they'll learn.
All right.
Anyway, all right. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Recording stopped. Stop recording. There we go.